We spend enormous amounts of energy chasing milestones. We convince ourselves that the next promotion, the new house, or that perfectly planned vacation will finally deliver a lasting sense of joy. Yet the thrill inevitably fades, leaving us scanning the horizon for the next fix. This cycle reveals a highly counterintuitive reality. The harder we try to force ourselves to be happy, the more likely we are to feel miserable. Psychologists officially call this the happiness paradox. The clinical research is remarkably clear. When evaluating emotional regulation, studies find that directly pursuing positive emotion is strongly correlated with decreased psychological health. As philosopher Eric Hoffer noted, the search itself becomes one of the chief sources of unhappiness. This flowchart maps exactly how the trap works. When we make happiness our primary goal, we set unattainable expectations. When everyday reality falls short of those standards, we experience disappointment. And that disappointment actively blocks the joy we seek. By treating happiness as a mandatory baseline, a default state we are supposed to maintain at all times, we are engineering our own misery. We are actively setting ourselves up to fail. To understand why our minds operate this way, we have to look at our biology. The human brain was never designed to produce endless joy. It evolved in highly dangerous environments with one strict priority: keeping us alive. This survival mandate created a negativity bias in our neurological hardware. Missing a beautiful sunset had no consequences, but missing the rustle of a predator in the bushes meant death. As a result, our brains encode negative experiences deeply and hold on to them, while positive moments fade almost instantly. Our modern culture demands constant positivity and good vibes only. This creates a severe clash with our ancient biological wiring. We are asking a threat detection machine to behave like a joy-producing machine. When we try to suppress our natural negative emotions, we flip what psychologists call the struggle switch. We engage in experiential avoidance, running away from our own internal weather. This creates a secondary layer of suffering. We start feeling angry about our sadness or anxious about our anxiety. The desire to live a life completely free of stress, heartbreak, or failure is what therapists call a dead person's goal, because the only people who never experience emotional pain are corpses. When we fight our own evolutionary hardware to achieve an impossible state of constant positivity, we trap ourselves in an exhausting and entirely unnatural cycle of emotional suffering. If chasing happiness and fleeing from pain is a biological trap, the solution isn't trying to feel better. The solution is building psychological flexibility. This diagram outlines acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT. This clinical framework doesn't focus on reducing symptoms or forcing positive thoughts. Instead, it uses 6 core processes to help us detach from unhelpful mental narratives and take meaningful behavioral action. The first hurdle we face is cognitive fusion. This is what happens when our minds broadcast a constant stream of doom and gloom narratives, and we blindly believe them. We mistake our passing thoughts for absolute reality. The antidote to this is cognitive diffusion. Instead of looking from our thoughts and letting them dictate our reality, we learn to look at them as passing data. By treating a thought as just a physical object or a passing sound, noticing that I am having the thought that I am a failure, rather than I am a failure, we strip away its power. It stops being a literal truth we have to obey. Creating distance between ourselves and our internal alarm systems gives us a crucial pause. In that space, we can choose our reactions deliberately, rather than being controlled by our brain's ancient psychological glitches. Once we learn to observe our thoughts, we have to address the physical and emotional pain that inevitably arises. This requires a process called acceptance. Acceptance is the direct opposite of experiential avoidance. When we turn the struggle switch off, we stop fighting the discomfort. We allow our natural anxiety or sadness to rise without compounding it into secondary suffering. Dropping our resistance to the storm doesn't stop the rain, but it does stop us from drowning in it. It allows our natural emotions to simply move through us without compounding our distress. We have to reframe difficult emotions. They are not mistakes, and they are not failures. They are highly accurate pieces of information, and they are the mandatory price of admission for living a meaningful life. As Eastern philosophies have long understood, suffering and joy are intrinsically linked. Facing our pain directly, rather than desperately throwing it away, is the only way to deepen our capacity for genuine joy. Giving up this unwinnable war against our own internal weather does something remarkable. It paradoxically reduces our daily anxiety, freeing up an immense amount of psychological energy for actual living. This leaves us with a final question. Once we stop running from pain and drop the pursuit of constant happiness, what exactly are we running toward? We have to recognize the stark difference between finite goals and infinite values. Goals are specific destinations that can be achieved and crossed off a list, like getting a promotion or buying a house. A value, however, is an ongoing direction. It is a guiding principle for how you want to behave, regardless of external circumstances, like choosing to be a supportive partner or acting with continuous curiosity. You never achieve a value. You keep moving by your compass. While achieving a specific goal can be blocked by life circumstances, you always have agency over your values. You can always choose to take one small step in your chosen direction today. You do not need to wait until you have achieved happiness or eliminated your anxiety to start participating in the world. Choosing to move in a valued direction, fully acknowledging the inevitable presence of pain along the way, transforms life into a daring and purposeful adventure. As Helen Keller observed, life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. A truly rich life isn't found by escaping pain to find happiness. It is built by making room for all our human emotions, turning off the struggle switch, and relentlessly pursuing the things that actually matter to us.